What's going on, Jerome's? So this offseason, the Minnesota Fighting Vikings made a concerted effort to have the meets in both trenches, D-line and especially O-line. Of course, adding Donovan Jackson, who's for real in the first round, but also shelling out some guaranteed money with the undrafted free agents. Enter one Joe Huber from Wisconsin/Cincinnati. He made a big-time difference. Huge, monstrous game in the first preseason tilt against the Texans. Definitely stood out, and PFF loved him as well. Max Chadwick, highest graded rookies from yesterday's preseason action. Number one, Jumpin' Joe Huber. That's right. And also, yes, every person whose name starts with a J or a G that sounds like a J, jumping. Right. Joe Huber at 94.7, the fan. Also, Willie Lampkin with the Rams. The pride of UNC, I wanted him so bad. I was going to turn him into a fullback. Come on, man. Good time. Deion Walker, the massive size nose tackle from Kentucky. Let's go. So basically, a bunch of my draft crushes did well. That's right. And Huber, so yes. Stupid Badger, right? Also, I got to watch myself sometimes because I know, especially like when we're talking about some of the fringe 90-man roster guys, practice squad guys, like their parents are watching this and just like, yeah. But again, I'm not really a Gophers fan. I just hate the Badgers and the Hawkeyes. It actually kind of sets up well. Or mainly, I don't like the Badgers because they claimed NC State Russell Wilson. That Russ was here. Brr. And also, a lot of Packers fans are Badgers fans. So, no. But overall, like, I don't mind Wisconsin Badgers football, right? Like, Ron Dane from back in the day, Barry Alvarez doing some good things, little Jimmy Leonard. It's good stuff. Oh, Jim Leonard should have been named head coach, not Luke Fickell. I digress. Yeah, Luke Fickell trying to run the spread with Wisconsin, the land of 17,000 tight ends, but whatever. But Huber, back on topic, and yes, I removed the logo. Yeah. But Huber put up good numbers at the combine, 8.9, 8 RAS, he's 6'5", 310, all that stuff, so he checks the boxes there. And Huber, coming out, he was 23 years young, played at Cincinnati for 2 years, and then transferred to Wisconsin, like we mentioned. 76.2 PFF pass block grade in 2024. Only one sack allowed in 2 seasons at Wisconsin. Now, you also have to factor in the offensive philosophy shift over the last couple of years of Wisconsin. So, also does have right guard, left guard, right tackle, and a little there's a little kicking, a little center experience during his time in Madison as well as in Cincy. $210K guaranteed as a UDFA. It's pretty good cash for the former Badger. And Huber, so here's the thing too, like preseason as you're watching in real time, most of us watch the ball. Like I certainly do. That's why on rewatch, whether it's a TV broadcast, whether it's all 22, then you can really dig down in to who did well in the trenches, right? And it's kind of tough to assess things on the fly unless someone looks really bad. Like, it's kind of funny. You know a bad offensive line play is right away. But good offensive line play is when you don't hear a player's name called, right? You don't hear the offensive line's name called or the defensive player that it's lined up against them. You don't hear them. It's good. But on rewatch, you can pick up on some good things, right? So 94.7 PFF grade, best on team, best of all the rookies in week 1 preseason. 55 snaps, all at right guard. So he came in right after Will Fries and the first series. So they definitely wanted to get an extended look at Huber at that right guard spot. Also, a 93.9 run blocking grade. One of the big reasons why Xavier Scott was able to get a little bit loose, right? And also, 2 pressures and a sack allowed. I mean, the sack was sort of whatever. They had to blame it on somebody. But overall, I think he did well. Where, a couple of traits, head on a swivel, looking for work. And he definitely, if you took the name off the jersey, he did not look like an undrafted rookie. Certainly. And yes, you do have to factor in, okay, playing with the 2s and 3s against 2s and 3s, whatever. But football is still football at a fundamental level. He did not look fooled by some of the stunts and twists up front, which is good. He was definitely a road grader in the run game. He was good in man. He was good in zone when they busted out the vanilla run schemes. Solid anchor. Wasn't overwhelmed. Just wasn't torqued up in one-on-one spots. Played with good leverage as well. Definitely moved decently. He wouldn't be a hindrance in outside zone or pulling in man. Also, good comms because he had Juergens at center most of the game. He had Coral for a couple snaps before Coral unfortunately got hurt. Then he had Brandel and Rouse over the right tackle spot. Same thing with Logan Brown. So overall, there wasn't any drop-off in comms there, which is good to see because, if Huber can rise up and be a decent backup, be a swing backup, like we said, has both guard, right tackle, and a little bit of center experience, I mean, that would be monstrous for the Vikings. And as of right now, I don't know, because generally teams carry 9 offensive linemen on the 53. I mean, Huber definitely is a practice squad candidate, but is it a spot where if he performs really well in the joint practices coming up, and he's going to get a lot of run these last 2 preseason games, do teams try and snatch him up if the Vikings try to get him through waivers onto the practice squad? So right now, I would say obviously Darisaw is good to go, not on the pup. So Darisaw, Jackson, Kelly, Fries, O'Neal, that's the starters. School you're keeping. Juergens you're keeping. Brandel you're keeping. So that's 8. And then it comes down to Rouse, Bird, and Huber, and Logan Brown potentially. So could be a numbers crunch there, but it's definitely a good problem to have. Also, I feel like just watching his film, like I can never explain why some things work for me, but all I see is Joe Berger. He was a 6th-round pick out of Michigan Tech back in the day. No one even knows where Michigan Tech is. Actually, no, our comments always work like this. Like I'll poo-poo like some small school, and then we'll have literally the most famous alumni be like, actually, Michigan Tech is from blah. Whatever. Yeah, but Joe Berger, who bounced around the league for a number of years, he was a Tony Sperano guy. It was great. So he was with Dallas and then Miami and all that stuff. Came to the Vikings, and you can make a very good case that in the 2010s, Joe Berger was the best and most consistent offensive lineman for the Vikings. You really could, all right? Because remember, Hutchinson left after 2011, one of the two. But I mean, Berger, playing center, playing guard, like he was a rock solid, tough ass, meat and potatoes type offensive lineman, and that's a sort of vibe you get when you're watching Joe Huber out there. So overall, like very impressive, and also reports of him in practice have been pretty solid as well. And obviously the Vikings believe with a 210 guaranteed, and let's see it in joint practice. Let's see it in 2 more preseason games. Let's keep things clean where we can finally have a treasure trove of offensive linemen with Jackson and Fries and Juergens and Huber. Let's go, man. Anyways, your thoughts are thoughts. Joe Huber season. Absolutely is, man. Let us know your thoughts, comments section. You guys are the best to do. Skol, production value.